Welcome to Eastern Film Fans, and today I have Mark Strange with me. He is no stranger to myself nor to you. A man of many talents and go back a long way now. Introduce yourself, Mark, please, to the fans.
Well, I'm Mark Strange. You can recently see me on Netflix fighting Bruce Lee in Ip Man 4. And obviously, right now, I have a leading role film out with director Ranjeet S Marwa, and that is called Rupture, and it's now on Amazon Prime.
I
And
tell you what,
Tubi.
I've got the t-shirt on, so it's coming useful. This t-shirt, we've done this a couple of times. I'm going to get to all that. A nominee for best lead as well, like I just say, which is fantastic news. Well deserved, well deserved.
Thank you so much, mate. I've been slogging in this industry for a long time, so it's nice to get a nice recognition.
Yeah, it's nice to get recognized for something you've done, and it makes everything worthwhile. I know it does. Look, I'm going to take you back because I always do this with my guests, and it's crazy we've not done this sooner or earlier. But let me take you back to the beginning, and not the birth, but at the point of you decided to get into films, you wanted to be in the films and martial arts, that kind of the journey. I guess for you, somewhere there must have been some kind of inspiration or spark, or right, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to be in films. I want to be an actor. I want to be a martial art. Where did it stem from you? What's your story?
My story was pretty much when I was, well, earlier than 10, really. I just love watching movies, and from I should have been watching the movies that I was watching at the time, but I love, that's where it all started and stemmed from. I used to have movie nights watching the early Jackie Chan films, Bruce Lee, general action stuff. I was a huge fan of Stallone as a kid, watching Rambo and all the great movies that he's sort of like brought to the screen. And for me, yeah, I just thought, really, I want to get out there and do some martial arts. It inspired me to find a club, so I started training many years in Lao Gar Kung Fu. Then I branched out. I met an instructor called Derek Ranjeet, went over to China to learn Wing Chun, praying mantis, train with the Shaolin monks. And it was just a whole big thing. I was very disciplined from 10 years old when I first started. I knew it was what I wanted to do. And from watching movies and learning martial arts and competing all over the world and learning all these styles, basically the journey was to lead me into films, and that's what I always wanted to do as a kid. I wanted to act. I wanted to work in movies.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's a long journey.
Yeah,
man.
it is a long journey. It sounds exactly like the mirror journey I had, but just complacency from my side. That was it. You were like super determined, focused. I did Lao Gar Kung Fu. I did Wing Chun, and then I just met girls and went out a lot. So I just went. You went to China. You went to Shaolin monks. You were over there. So there's a story. So talking of which, you recognized for the medallion with Jackie Chan. I mean, how did that come about? How all of a sudden were you in a movie with Jackie Chan? Because let's face it, you just said you were watching Jackie Chan, you were watching those films over it, and then all of a sudden you're in a film with him. How did that come about for you?
Well, the film stuff started about, I met a director called Martin Holland. And then we decided to go on this massive venture together, making a movie. And that movie was called Displaced. And basically it took best part of 7 years of my life from start to getting it out there. And it actually got out there. It was released in Japan, America.
It was. I spoke to Chris Jones recently. We were talking about on the thing, Displaced and stuff.
Yeah.
Matt Rowledge is in it. There's a lot of people in that film and stuff.
There's a lot of people who are involved, and that's where along that route I met Matt Rutledge. And then and halfway through making that, because I'd built a show reel from what I had. There was a producer that I met in Cannes, and met him, went out there, met him, came back. 3 days later, I got a phone call. we need you in Hong Kong. So, and that was it. That's how it become working on the Medallion and Twins Effect. And whilst I was out there, I met Mike Leader, all them type of guys, and they've been so great and good to me with my career this far and taking me, forwards. And obviously, Mike Leader was a big part of getting me involved. He casted me for Ip Man. So it's so it was like a family tree. It was an incredible journey, and obviously with the dedication and commitment I put into my first movie, Displaced, I brought it, even that blew away Ian McKellen, and he come on board and did a voiceover for free for us. I met him, and he was such a lovely guy. It opened so many doors when his name was involved with my first movie.
Let's come back to it, because I think people don't realize it's just like you do this. I mean, this was what Displaced was like 2006 or something. It's going back. I mean, that's 20 years. Almost.
Yeah,
it's like a lot of dedication to get where you are today, and we'll get to Rupture and the nominations, all that and stuff. But just for the people, so they know, tell me what it's like on Displaced and stuff, because Chris alluded to it's hard work. You're getting up at the crack of dawn to do this stunt or do it again and over. I mean, it takes hard work and dedication to do this. Isn't something you just you have to put the effort and have to have that commitment to do it.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, for me on Displaced, I don't know if you're familiar with this, and I'll put it out to the viewers. I was the producer, I was the production manager, I was the action designer. I played 2 lead roles in it. I literally everything. I sorted the catering out. It was a labor of love. Displaced. It was a lot of hard work, because we were seeing great results, and it was being shown to people like Paul Hitchcock, the executive producer of Mission Impossible movies and all these great movies. Vic Armstrong got to sort of like see the film as well. We got it to all these great people, and that inspired me to keep going and going and going. And Ian McKellen really was the icing on the cake, getting him involved. Yeah. And then getting it out there, and it just it was so hard, man. It was, anyone who makes a movie, an independent movie with ambition, deserves an Oscar or a medal of some sort of award, because it is the toughest thing on the planet. If you just go in and do one role, it's still tough, but doing multiple roles is just ridiculous. But you do it because you love it.
Yeah, of course you do. That the passion, and I will say it now, and people will know this. You are one of the nicest people working in the industry today, and I'm not just coming from me and saying that, but other people say, you know what I mean. You truly are, and giving your time today. Thank you very much. Look, you've had a journey and a career and stuff, and some of that's that Redcon one. That I mean, 2018, they're still talking about it now. It's on Netflix now. It's still doing tremendous business as a film and stuff. That character, Frank Perez, I think it is, you played and stuff. It was great to see you in a role to get your teeth into, I thought. For that,
thank you.
Was it something you were drawn to by the character and the role that was given, or how did that come about?
Well, I'd already done 2 movies with the same director. I did 12, which was originally Underground. And then I ended up doing a movie with Kari Tagawa and Richard Ng called Bodyguard: A New Beginning. And I was a producer on them 2 movies, but I played a hitman in The Bodyguard. And then in 12, I played the main kind of fighter that, if for people that have not seen it, I won't give it away, but it's a bare knuckle fighting film. And it was done just after I did Displaced. And so I've done a couple of movies with the same director. So with Redcon, oh my God, I wrote that. I was part of one of the main writers, which went on forever because it was, again, a big, ambitious movie. And then I produced it. I did some of the action on it, and I played Lieutenant Frank Perez on it. And not a lot of people know that, so I like to say what I've done and credit on the movie.
That is fantastic. I didn't know that. It's fantastic.
No, thanks, man.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic. Look, the more skills are coming out, just not just being, the leading man and doing it, but actually the writing, the producing, you've done all that. You've been there, you've seen it, done it. And Redcon 1 is fantastic. If people haven't seen it, they need to go out there and see it. You get, after that, you get a little role as a bouncer in Avengement, which I love with Scott
Yes.
Adkins, and it's nice to see you there with stuff, just, you know, bearded up.
No,
You
thanks,
get a little
buddy.
fuss.
Well,
Yeah.
with Avengement, it was quite funny because I just finished Redcon, and I got news that week when I was working on it that which I was blown away by, and it's every filmmaker's dream to see your movie in the cinemas. And that week, I got told that we got 61 view sites for the UK for Redcon on that week when I was playing Cliff, good old Cliff. You know, but originally, like, Scott contacted me and I auditioned for Avengement, and then I went for another part, but he said, "Oh, I prefer you to play Cliff." So I was like, "Yeah, let's go," you know, because I'd always wanted to have a big old fight with Scott, because it was my first sort of confrontation with him in a film. So, and to do a really gritty brawl type fight was fantastic, and the fight went on to get nominated at the Titus
It's
Stunt
fantastic.
Awards. And
I loved it.
yeah,
I
it was
love
a
that
great
character,
movie. It's
Cliff. It
my
was great.
favorite.
Yeah, and for
My
us,
favorite Scott Adkins movie as well. You
yeah,
know,
it has to be. I was there at the premiere of it in London. It was fantastic. I got to interview Scott and stuff. But for me, it was great because it was great to see you and then Scott go toe to toe. And I was like, this is great. But you know, for me, I like a good fight scene and like a British brawl. It was proper good, and he deserved.
No, thanks. My nose still hurts, by the way, from that cricket bat, you know.
I'll tell Scott, yeah. He needs to be careful. But leading up to that, and then obviously you get Ip Man 4, which, let's face it, the Ip Man films are just like legendary. I mean, Donnie Yen, you know, I was fortunate to train with Donnie Yen back in the day. What a great guy. I mean, I imagine it was fantastic to do that, but your fight scene, even better. It was, you know, probably one of my favorite. And it's a nod and a wink to Way of the Dragon as well. He kind of in that Chuck Norris kind of role. He was very much fighting Danny Chan, and I thought it was fantastic. It was great to see. Small fight in the middle, but it was one that stood out. It was head and shoulders, and I was, you know, everybody should go and see it. If you love the Ip Man films, are great anyway because it's got Donnie in it. And again, was that your connections? You've been working with Scott. Was it recommended? How did that come about for you?
I think it was a combination, really, because I remember obviously Mike Leader got me the opportunity. He sent me, I sent my reel to him. He obviously must have passed that on, I believe, to Wilson Ip. They saw it, probably Yen Wu Ping as well. And then next minute he contacts me, "Congrats, you know, you've got it. You can't tell anybody. Yeah, you're going to be like the Chuck Norris type character fighting Bruce Lee in Ip Man." I was like, "Oh my God." Yeah, it was insane, man. And then I went out there, and obviously the fight was filmed in Hong Kong in a studio. All that was purposely built, the diner and everything, in a studio to fit into the San Francisco thing. And it was incredible. I walked into the studio on the first day. There's Yen Wu Ping in front of me, and I'm thinking, wow, this is cool. As a martial arts guy and a film, you know, in films, to work with him is like the pinnacle of action. You know, it was an incredible experience. And the way you saw him put everything together, and it was like a jigsaw. And I thought I was originally going out there just get my ass kicked, because you can't last 10 seconds with Bruce Lee, yeah. But then it ended up being like huge screen time and a huge fight, which I was so happy with. And that night of the screening in London with Scott that was the first time I'd seen it that night as well. So it was all the aches and pains. It was worth every moment, you know.
I tell you what, it was worth it. It was worth it for us as a viewer and stuff. It was fantastic. I love the fight scenes like that. I love the way they give time for the on-screen fighters to show it, and you did, and you gave the character life and breadth, and you know, you felt every punch you get, and that's what it's all about. You know, I love my fight scenes and stuff, and it was added to the list of my favorite fight scenes, certainly for 2019, I think it was, when it come out and stuff, which was fantastic. Look, let's bring you up to date. You are nominated Best Lead for your current film that's out, Rupture, which is out now. on Prime, Tubi, and major platforms. You can download. You can get it now. It's out there. We were at the premiere. We did the Q&A and stuff. Fantastic. Ranjit's put together this fantastic. And for those who've not seen it, kind of a sci-fi film. You play Raven Black, and I've said that it's one of the coolest names ever. Well done. It's great. I love that.
I know, it's pretty insane, that, isn't it? I always kind of get good names. Frank Perez,
you do.
Raven Black. And then
And
then another movie that comes out that I shot last year, Hounds of War with Frank Grillo.
Yes.
That I'm called Santiago.
Oh, dude, you get all the best names. That's even better.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about Hounds of War. Listen, really well reminded about that. That should be should be fantastic, because I know you were out filming that with Frank Grillo, and I saw Lee there as well. That looks a great ensemble cast. Let's do Rupture. Rupture. What was it like working with Ranjit and given the opportunity? Because it's a fantastic film, like I say. But what was that like?
Seriously, Ranjit's fantastic. I literally. Basically, I think at the point, the Pinnacle, they had someone casted as Raven Black, yeah, but then he fell out through COVID, and he couldn't come, so they were looking for someone, and then I got connected to Ranjit, and it was like, and then that's basically how it began, and it was literally, a sign for it, and then it was literally I was filming a couple of weeks later, and can I say that Ranjit built Rome on such a tiny budget and such a tiny time frame as well. 2 weeks. Yeah. As I said at the screening, yeah, I've done previews for 2 weeks for a fight that lasts 10 seconds, in one of these big movies. And to do a whole feature film in that length of time, the whole cast, the whole crew were sensational, and again, he deserves awards.
His methodology to do that and kick something out that quickly, I mean, he's fantastic to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And like I say, just that's power to him to put that there. But like I say, it's a fantastic role for you. It's great to see. And I was like, why have you not done lead roles before? I was like, this is crazy. It was like, first lead role, male lead role, and you get nominated for it as well. I mean, come on, you can't ask for
No, I appreciate that, man. Well, trust me, I've always wanted to step into them lead role shoes. And this is only the start of things to come, I do know that in my mind, which I can't talk about right now, I've got something cool that I'm doing next year as a lead as well. But no, Raven Black for me was just the it's a guy that's lost everything. He's lost all focus around him. He's, and his mind is just hell-bent on payback.
Just for the fans out there, it's got some kick-ass action in as well. There is some real choice pieces of action in it, which are fantastic. Hallway scene, I'll say, and I mention it again, and Chris Jones gets to mention again, but I still love that fight with Chris Jones. And I know it would have been longer, which is fantastic, but you do get to face off.
I know, man. So we were so under pressure that day, Phil. We had the whole top stores where I come in to shoot.
Yeah,
we had the Nick alleyway, the little corridor fight that we have, and then we had Chris's fight and some of us, all to be shot in one day. Yeah, and it was absolutely just full on.
I can imagine. You're gonna do so much, and like I say, I still love the fight with Nick Khan as well. Nick the Blade Khan. I mean, he's fantastic with the knives. He's just great. That's what you want.
He's great with the knife.
Bring something different as well. I like that.
Yeah, I want to apologize for Nick catching him in the chin while we're on here. So I'm very sorry, Nick. I hope your chin's a lot better.
There you go. You apologize. It's on camera now. It'll be forevermore. Well, we'll make sure Nick sees it and I'm sure he'll accept it. So look, you've got coming up, I know things you can't talk about, but there's Dig Me No Grave from Ranjit as well next year. I see that. We got a teaser. We got a teaser at the premiere that Ranjit gave out. Is there anything snippets you can give us from that? Because that looks like, again, a little bit different for you.
Yeah, well, I for that one, I remember looking at it and thinking, wow, this is so not me, so different to what I'd normally do. And I thought, the thing about acting and performing is always challenge yourself, always try new things. I think, because you never know how it's going to work until you actually get stuck in there. And me being a disciplined person, I always give it my all. So I remember Gary, the writer of the project he's from Washington, and we had this Zoom call, and it was to get the accent. And I'd been watching Forrest Gump all week. I'd been watching The Revenant, all these kind of deep South type accents, and I'd never done an accent before. I'd always done a darker version of mine, or adapt it slightly. But yeah, I did this accent, and it was like, wow, that's really cool. I love where you're going with it. So then when I got there, I just seemed to just fall into this character, and it's based on a true story as well. And I play like friend to Warren Hicks' character Scott, and I'm literally I play Fred Proctor, and he's like a stroke victim. So not only did I have the accent, I had like stutter, I had limp, and I was obviously, the makeup made me look so different. And yeah, it was a totally different character for me, but I loved it, mate. I really enjoyed the experience of not actually fighting. Not, we do have a little scuffle at the end, but it's nothing like what I'd normally do.
Yeah. No, it's nice to see. Nice to see
yeah,
you grabbing opportunities that push yourself as an actor in that field. And I said that before
definitely.
about Rupture. I said, don't take this away. There's got a night. I said I love the action and stuff, but there's a heart to it. There's, that, and it's well deserved from a nomination point of view, because you step up from a lead point of view and you give that heart and the character. And again, it sounds like digging at me in her grave, he's going to have that kind of character development as well, which is great to see. So what else can you tease us that's coming next year? You said about Hands of War. It sounds like to me that might be slightly kick-ass, and he's got Frank Grillo and everybody else. Is there anything you can tease us with coming soon for Mark?
Well, obviously, I'm sure at some point there's going to be a Hounds of War trailer being dropped. I'm not sure when that is, but I reckon it possibly could be in the early new year. Right. So that's something to look forward to. And that, me, I love playing soldiers, mercenaries, hitmen. They're my favorite kind of characters, so to actually play. But I am working on something next year, and looking, fingers crossed, shooting around April time. Okay. So I can't really say much about it, but all I can say is my commitment to this is because me, when I have prep, I can change myself to whatever I want to be. Yeah. And this movie that I'm developing and doing in April, it'll be my best and finest work to date. I will guarantee that. Yeah, because I can, like, now I'm literally super disciplined right every day, right up until we shoot this movie. Yeah. And not just the way I look, the way my body is, but the martial arts as well. It's going to be an action fueled junkie movie. Everyone are going to love this movie. It's going to be an homage to 80s and 90s.
Stop teasing me, Mark. Stop teasing me. Stop teasing me. And I know you're dedicated to it. Before we started this, I bet you've been to the gym, and you have. So I know you're dedicated to it. I know your martial arts. You've been down the gym. I can't wait. Thank you. Look, there's always time for one final question. The final question always is the same for every guest that we have on the show from Eastern Film Fans. The Eastern Film Fan questions is, drum roll, if you were stuck on a desert island and could only take 3 films with you, can be any genre of film, so any genre, and take 3 films with you, what 3 films would you pick?
Oh my word. I always struggle with questions like this because I love so many.
Yeah, I know, yeah. And what I tend to say is, I'll talk for a little bit so you can think about them, but if I ever have you back, you can pick a different 3. So it doesn't,
Well, that's good to know. All right, that's good to know.
Don't worry. So don't worry. And well, let's go. Let's go. No judging. Go on.
Let's go for First Blood.
Oh yes, brilliant.
Yeah, let's throw that in there.
Yeah.
Let's go for. Wow, this is so difficult. I
love it.
Films. The Crow. I like The Crow.
Oh,
Yeah,
man. God rest his soul.
which is a great
Yeah,
movie.
it's a
They've got
great
you see
film.
how they've got a bit of a path going, haven't they?
Yeah.
And pure for pure kind of production value and probably one of the greatest type fantasy movies, it'd probably be Lord of the Rings.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, they're
Yeah,
fantastic.
because
the epicness, the glory. I mean, I still go back to all of those films you mentioned. In fact,
yeah,
I did quite recently again.
but I've just realised I've hardly put any martial arts action movies.
Yeah, but you don't have to. That's the thing. Yeah, because people expect it, and that's why I say in genre. I remember doing Benny Chan. I think he said he would put Jaws down as one of his, or Godfather.
Oh, yeah,
and there was
I
no.
loved it.
I mean, God bless him. There was, everybody's got their different, and his first thing to pop into your head. And everybody's, well, I should say martial arts because you think you're obliged to his film. No, that's what I say in genre. Whatever you think of next time. But hey, next time you might come up with whatever. It doesn't make any difference. No, look.
Well, I think I dissect films for different reasons, and if I was like thinking crazy gunplay, instantly I think Hard Boiled. Yeah, which is insane, and or Hard Target even.
Yeah,
the
fantastic.
John Woo stuff. I could go on forever. The movies that I love, man.
No good. I've got them all around me, so there's so many.
Yes,
I'm a bit of a tease when I do that because I'd be in the same situation if somebody asked me exactly the same question. Mark, like I say, it's been fantastic to have you today. Bless you. Continue being you. We thank you for it. Continue giving your dedication, hard work. We can't wait to see what's happening next from you. It sounds fantastic. So thank you for the tease and stuff. And good luck with the nomination for Rupture. I wish you all the best. And stay safe and be well, my friend.
Thank you very much. Everybody go and watch it on Amazon Prime and Tubi, and more sites to come.